everybody. Happy weekend. It is Tiffani-Beth, your favorite wicked middle child of the Wicked Edge. Thank you all so much for joining me. Please forgive me, I'm a little under the weather tonight. My throat is on fire and my face is pounding, so if I do not come off as happy jolly as usual, I apologize. Because I'm actually really happy because we have a wonderful guest today. Her name is Jackie Bowling, and she's actually not only a good friend of ours and a psychic medium, but she's also a very proud sponsor of DTM Wicked Radio Productions and DTM Wicked Productions and DTM Wicked Radio. We're going to get to her in just a minute, but I do have some announcements to make. First of all, please join me on October 22nd because I'm going to have the comedy film nerds Graham Elwood and Chris Mancini on my show. We're going to discuss Earbuds, the podcast documentary. We're going to discuss the LA Pod Festival, and we're going to discuss which are the best and worst horror movies ever made. I have mine already picked out, so I'm interested to see what they have to say. So don't forget that that's going to be on Wednesday, October 22nd at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You're not going to want to miss it. Also, if you have children ages 0 to 5 or 0 to 6, there's a new children's book out for you called Billy Rabbit's Halloween Adventure. It's a new series that's going to be coming out with Halloween and Christmas and a bunch of other ones, and it's written by none other than my wonderful hubby, Dennis Gager. I'm so very proud of him. And it's on Barnes & Noble, it's on Amazon and Kindle, and it's Billy Rabbit's Halloween Adventure. Sorry, my mind is clouded. I'm so very proud of him. So please go find that book and buy it. And if your kids will love it, you will love it. It's so much fun. Also, I want to give a couple of shout outs to our sponsors real quick. Jackie Bowling, clairvoyant medium, and psychic and clairvoyant medium. I'm so sorry. I am so out of it. But let me tell you something. I have to be honest. I'm not a big fan of psychics. I'm really not. But Jackie Bowling is extraordinarily gifted, and she has so many talents, and she's very warm and welcoming, and she's very honest, and she's actually, you know, one of my friends, and I'm not saying this because she's our friend. I have seen what she can do, and a lot of psychics will ask you questions or try to kind of lead you into what you want to hear. Jackie does not do that. Jackie actually tells you things, and it shocks you. And I've seen her wonderful work. And so I highly recommend that you go to www.dtmwickedradio.com, click on the sponsor page, scroll down to Jackie Bowling's banner, click on that banner, and email her today. She's extraordinarily talented. If you have questions about your future, questions about your past, questions about a loved one that maybe you miss, she has the answers for you. So again, go to www.dtmwickedradio.com. Click on the sponsor page, scroll down to Jackie Bowling's banner, click on the banner, and contact Jackie today. You're not going to be sorry. You'll be so happy you did it. So, love to Jackie, and make sure you go visit her site. Also, to the Caring Coaching Center. We're all looking to get healthy. We all need to be healthy, and sometimes we need some guidance. And let me tell you, the Caring Coaching Center is your place to go. Go to www.thecaringcoachingcenter.com or even to www.dtmwickedradio.com. Click on the sponsor page and scroll down to the Caring Coaching Center. Karen Kennedy is amazing. She's caring. She wants to help everybody reach their goals, whether it be just eating healthier, exercising, even finances or mental stability. She wants to help you. So go to www.thecaringcoachingcenter.com or www.dtmwickedradio.com. Click on the sponsor page and scroll down. And email Karen today for your free 50-minute health history consultation. And what that does is it gives her insight into you and who you are, and it's completely confidential. And if you decide to take a program with Karen, that will help her to design a program specifically made to fit your needs. So it's not like Weight Watchers, it's not anything like that. It's completely confidential, and it's just you two. So let's go to www.dtmwickedradio.com, click on the sponsor page, scroll down, and click on the Caring Coaching Center banner to start a new, healthier, new you today. Also, one more sponsor. I love best sponsors. You know, we have the best sponsors in the world. We have the best people in the world, and I'm so thankful we have them. Rolling Hills has been with us since day one. Rolling Hills, this is the month of October, and Rolling Hills is buzzing. They have a lot going on. They have, at the end of the month, a event with the Booth Brothers that you're not going to want to miss. They have captive and public hunts, and they also have historical tours. So go to www.rollinghillsasylum.com or www.dtmwickedradio.com. Click on the sponsor page and scroll down and click on the Rolling Hills Asylum banner. Amazing history. They're in East Bethany, New York, right outside of Batavia, which I love this place because it's 10 minutes from 2 major airports in a major city, and yet still in the middle of nowhere. It's a geographical enigma, but it's awesome, and you're not gonna want to miss it because it's just so full. If you believe in the paranormal, it's really active. I've been there. If you don't believe in the paranormal but you love history, you're going to want to go there. They still have the beds from way back when. She's got all the stories from all the patients that were there. It's amazing. So again, go to www.dtmwickedradio.com, click on the sponsor page, scroll down, click on the Rolling Hills Asylum banner, and schedule your captive hunt or your historical tour today, or even buy a ticket for the upcoming event with the Booth Brothers. They make movies that are on chiller and sci-fi. You're not going to want to miss it. So those are our sponsors. Whew. I'm tired. I'm going to take a nap, but I'm going to let Jackie do the show. I'm tired. No, I'm so excited to bring Jackie on. Jackie, I met her at the Parahistory Con in Fort William Henry, and such a beautiful woman. I enjoyed talking to her so much. We immediately became friends, and she's such a gifted person with such a big heart. And I'm so glad to have her part of the DTM Wicked Radio family. So, Jackie, how are you, lovey?
I am doing really good.
I am really glad. Jackie has had a couple of surgeries. God bless her. And she's a strong woman. Stronger than I think I would be. Excuse me. And so, I'm so glad she could be here with us tonight. And, Jackie, can you tell our audience a little bit about you?
About me?
Yes, ma'am.
Let's see. I am 5'1", 44 years old. Just kidding.
She likes long walks on the beach and likes to poke dead things with sticks. No.
Actually, I do. Let's see. I am a mom who lives in Oklahoma, and I also happen to talk to dead people.
So you're Haley Joe Osmond. Get it? Awesome. No, you know, it's funny, like, you know, you and I were talking previously before I decided to destroy our whole studio, a little bit about your gift. And I have to tell you, you know, I saw what the work you did at Parahistory Con, and you're not like a lot of other, and I'm going to put psychic in quotations, because
okay.
I have problems with psychics. I really do.
Me too.
But you don't ask questions. The only thing you want to know is, what do you want me to tell you? Or what is your question for me? And then you just take it from there, and you don't ask them, because I hate it, because I can't tell you how many times, and I think you know this. Every time you go to an event, there's like 40 psychics per vendor. Like, there's psychics outweigh the number of people that come to these events, you know, whether they be vendors or spectators. And every time I go to an event, they're like, I have to read you. I'm like, okay. They're like, have you lost a loved one? Like, can you be any more generic? Or they'll be like, I can tell that you are a very quiet, passive person. And my husband looks at them and goes, you're not very good psychic. And or they'll be like, so when your father, is it your aunt? No, it's your, and you don't do that. You get straight to the point and you say, this is who it is and this is what they have to say. And people leave you mesmerized because you hit it right on the head without any information whatsoever.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. You know, I didn't grow up knowing any psychics or mediums or things like that. So I really try not to ask questions.
Mm-hmm. I think
it happens, especially during a session. But, you know, it's one of those things that I'm uncomfortable at first saying what I'm seeing, but Spirit has taught me to say, just tell them what you're seeing.
Right. What was your first experience when telling somebody what you were seeing?
Well, the first time was a little bit older. My first experience was when I was 3. But the first time I told my parents, I think I was in 2nd grade, and I went to a private Catholic school, and my dad had gone to the same school, and I had this old nun. You know, we didn't see the nuns dressed like they did in the 70s, you know, Birkenstocks and pants.
Right.
But this nun was dressed in robes. Yeah, okay, yeah, I went to Catholic school, that's a given. But she told me, say hello to your dad. And she gave me his name. And then the message. And I said, well, sister so-and-so, can't remember her name now, said hi, how's your mom? You know, just basic. And he's looking at me. I don't know that nun. And I said, she was your teacher. And he got his yearbook out. And that, you know, and I was also telling you earlier that I would get messages. You know, I had great imaginary friends. Mm-hmm. And I would get messages, and I would tell my parents, you know, about this message, and they would go, how do you know this person? And I said, well, they were here. And then they would go get photographs, you know, like you see in the movies, and say, well, do you see this person here? And I'd say, this person. And like I told you earlier, they didn't really have much of a reaction. I think so I wouldn't freak out. But they had often said, how do you know that? Because that person isn't here anymore. And I'm just like, well, because they told me. I didn't understand the concept of that.
Right. Right. So how did you come to terms with the fact that you could speak to those who were no longer living?
It took me a long, long time to come to terms with it. You know, for a long time I thought I was just you know, I did theater and I thought it was my imagination, and I didn't have a very supporting husband. But my best friend in high school would talk to me about things. And, you know, my grandma, great Irish Catholic woman, first generation Irish Catholic, was telling me about her grandma who would see people. Mm-hmm. And I had to have someone tell me about 10 years ago, you're really seeing things. Right. Ignore what everybody else is saying. And I knew in my heart that that's what I was seeing. But I'm from Oklahoma, the Bible Belt. I'm in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Oral Roberts University is 8 miles down the road. Lots of different kinds of faiths are here. You know, I was an oddity being Catholic. You know, I wasn't Baptist. I wasn't Methodist. I wasn't this. I was an oddity as a Catholic anyway. And so you don't talk that jokingly call coming out of the closet, coming out of the paranormal closet. It was painful. It was very painful. When my youngest daughter, I think that was my turnaround, when she said, Mommy, there's a man in the corner. And when I realized my kids were seeing what I saw, that I knew that I couldn't ignore it anymore. That when I came out of the closet as a medium, I hate the labels, I'm with you. When I decided to do this as a career, someone says, well, you have to give yourself a title. I'm like, I don't know what to call myself. Because psychic sounds so phony and medium sounds like Teresa Casputa, who I really appreciate. And so the titles, and when I came out as a medium in the beginning of my divorce, I had been a lay minister in the church we were going to. I was approached by so many people at this church who told me I was going to hell and told me that's not what Christianity is about. That's not what this is about. That's not what that is about. And that was so painful because my response was, the God you worship and the God I love would never have given me a gift like this if it was evil.
Exactly. And, I have to just comment on that. I'm a Christian, and I know Jesus is my Savior. But I also believe just like there are people out there who think they can sing or like to pretend they can sing, there are people out there who pretend and think they have the gift of second sight. And I don't think that's true. I really do believe, though, that God does give people the gift of knowledge and second sight for a reason. I do not think it's a gift or a curse quote of the devil. I really do think it's a God-given gift because, like God gives people the ability to sing and draw, He can also give people the gift to see. And
exactly.
I totally agree with that. And I cringe, and I'm going to use my brother as an example. I love my brother dearly, but I don't know how we were raised by the same two people. We're very different. Very, very, very different. As a matter of fact, my brother often will pull my husband and I aside. I mean, my husband and I used to have a paranormal team, but we dissolved it because the business is too much. And plus, let's be honest, the paranormal community is not what it used to be. It's completely different, and it's not as beautiful and as open as it used to be. It's been really muddied, for my opinion. But when we were in it, and he still even does it, because I think whenever he sees us, he just equates us with ghosts or demons. But he always says he's praying for our souls. And I'm like, nah, I'm good. I know where mine's going. And I think people just take that attitude and run with it. And I think it's a horrible, horrible thing. And I think it can make people feel bad about a gift that were given by God. And I think people let their own judgment and their own opinions cloud what I feel could probably be truth, that God gave you that gift. So I'm glad you said that.
Yeah, I'm a scholar. I mean, I haven't gone to college, but I study and history and books and things. And every culture and every world and every religion, every single one of them, somebody has the gift of sight or healing or whatever you want to call it. Somebody has that gift. I happen to have the gift of sight, the gift of healing, all these things. And, and I no longer fall within a umbrella of religion. You know, I know where I'm at. I know who I belong to. I couldn't do this work any other way. And, you know, I'm highly uncomfortable with praise, which sounds, people laugh, that you're a performer. I'm like, well, yeah, but I work really hard. And if you come up to me, I'd be like, oh, don't talk to me. And that, you know, it's part of the thing. When you're out in public, that's what you do. When clients say, oh, my God, what would I do? I would be so far worse without this conversation. I said, I'm just a vessel. I said, all those weird things I was doing during your session, I would never do on my own.
Right.
You know, I won't get up. I hate it when they have me do this, but I'll get up and I'll walk like them, or I'll talk like them, or it's humiliating, but spirits seem to enjoy it thoroughly. Oh, let's see what we can do with Jackie. And that's what happens. But I'm willing to do that.
Right.
I've had people say, I would do anything for that gift. I said, you don't know what you're asking.
It's a lot. It takes a lot out of you. And it puts a lot in you, too, that you didn't ask for necessarily.
Well, yeah, and I said, it's not all roses and sunshine. I said, I see really dark things. Really dark things. And I believe that's why people were so uncomfortable with me. Because I believe, well, I know, wink, wink, that they were going through everything they ever did when they knew me, and were so worried that I knew what they were doing that they started to attack me.
Mm. That's scary.
Yeah. I mean, I don't go looking for it. I'm not going to read you in Walmart. I'm not going to, you know, I don't read strangers. I'm not on a level 6 through 10 all the time. I'm always at like a low 2 or 3, but I'm not going to purposely go after you and read you. That's rude. That's just rude. And people that do that, that's just rude.
And you can tell when they are. You can definitely tell when they are. And you can tell, it's interesting. Like I said, you've been at, like us, you've been at all these events, and you can tell when somebody's trying to read you. They may not be good at it, or they may not be what they think they are, but you can still tell when somebody's trying to read you. You know, and I just look at them and I'm like, really? Really? I guarantee you, whatever you think you know, it is not what you think. It is not exactly at all that.
Well, and I teach people that. You know, you can't do that. It's rude, and it's not going to do you any good.
Right.
It's like being an empath. I'll tell my daughter, she used to come home in tears. I was in such a good mood.
Aww.
And I said, honey, you can't just, you have to shut it off. Even if you can't shut it off 100%, you have to shut it off. You'll be exhausted.
Now, have you ever gotten a spirit that was so persistent that they wanted you to talk to somebody that you kind of had to sidestep that rule and give in?
Yeah.
Did it not end well?
It's uncomfortable. I'll talk to anybody. I mean, you saw, I have to.
Yeah.
I have to force myself to start, but once I start, it's okay.
Right.
Yeah. And I'm like, oh, really? I'm not talking to that lady at Walmart. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. And I'll go up and say, I know it sounds weird, especially here in Oklahoma. I mean, I don't know who I'm going to run into.
You're in the Bible Belt, so that is
I'm in the Bible Belt. You never know.
It's like Russian.
Some people are open. Some people are. And I'll say, this is what I was told. This is who told me. Here is my card if you're interested. And typically they're so gobsmacked that they don't know what to say. Sometimes they'll cry, and I'll sit there and talk to them. And And typically, if I approach somebody like that, I'll give them a free reading because it seems like I'm soliciting, work, but I'm not. I don't do what Teresa Castuto does, like on her show. But I understand that feeling that she has. It's so overwhelming that I typically leave.
Right.
I'll leave my basket and walk out of the store.
So the gift you have can really be a down on your life sometimes, because maybe it keeps you from doing things you really want to do because you have somebody who's so persistent that they just need you to talk to somebody, and it gets uncomfortable.
Well, and I try to communicate with the spirit themselves on my own time. What is so urgent? What needs to be done? What do you feel like wasn't finished? And sometimes it's as simple as saying, I love you. I believe as the spirit goes, as the soul leaves the body, we go to heaven. And the soul is an energetic ball with all these strings that could go thousands of miles, up, down, around. There's no stopping an energetic soul. And so the message will get there when it's supposed to be there. So it's not like it's stuck. I have a problem with people saying, oh, well then if I'm getting a message, that means the soul or the spirit hasn't gone to heaven. Well, that's not true. It just means that they have a message, and they're taking that little bit of energy and bringing it to you. Because when we die, we are so much more powerful than we could even fathom. So all these rules people have on a soul or the spirit is laughable to me. I mean, I understand because, they're not seeing and hearing what I am. And I'm not saying I'm God and I know all the answers, but there's so much more to the spirit world than we will ever know.
Oh, absolutely.
So,
I absolutely agree with you 110%. I mean, I'm sure there's things that we'd be surprised to even know, even was there. Absolutely. Now, I do have a question, speaking of that. Now, not only do you do readings, but you also do spiritual cleansings, is that correct?
I do. I sounded really excited about that. Spiritual cleansing, spiritual healing, spiritual, I work on soul issues. Mm-hmm. So, it's not, the sage and stuff, but I have the person come in, or I go to their home, or on the phone, and we are in agreement on what comes up and what their issues are. Not just say your issues, whatever, you're gambling, I don't know, whatever, just throw off whatever. Mm-hmm. Why is that? Why does that keep happening? And during the session, there's a lot of discussion. I step aside and allow my higher self, and here we're going to get woo-woo-y. I don't want to sound like a woo-woo, but
so good.
My higher self and your higher self will come together, and my higher self will go in and have this whole conversation and using me, Jackie, to explain what I'm seeing. And at first when I started doing this, I thought, this is such crap. This is so weird. But what I started seeing happen was these people would trust me enough to have this session. I have never witnessed in my life, I'm going to get emotional about this, I've never seen such a transformation within 90 minutes, ever. You know, I mean, it happens during the medium session too, but this is a little bit more intense. This would almost be like seeing a hypnotist, except I don't put people under. I'm not a hypnotist, and it's like releasing all that baggage. All this stuff that I've learned that I can do, I used to make fun of people because it was kooky and weird. And I do it. And it's weird.
Are you still shocked that you have the gift to do these things that you do? Does it still,
yeah.
You still amaze yourself?
Absolutely. And I'll say that. I mean, like, I had one client say, because I don't remember like 80% of the sessions. And I had one client, we hit it off really, really well, and she went back to listen to her session, and she said, you said this is so weird, like 7 times. I said, because it is weird. It is weird. It's fantastic, and it's creepy, and it's weird all at the same time. It is. I'll be the first one to say this is the weirdest thing ever. I thought I was going to become a professional singer. I've had recordings. I've performed in front of hundreds and hundreds of people. That's where I thought my career was going. I thought I was going to be a stay-at-home mom who was a part-time singer.
Well, there you go.
But my gift kept getting stronger and more persistent and harder to ignore. And I cannot see my life any differently than doing this, because ultimately I want to help and heal people. I don't get, except for financial, that's part of it, but I get nothing else out of this. This is all about the client for me. It's all about the person.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think that's great because, you know, it's interesting. A lot of people that claim to have the gift, their first thing is money, money, money. But you can tell, and it's few and far between, you can tell when somebody is truly gifted and truly wants to help people when, you know, of course, you know, you need to make money. And like singing, unfortunately, because I too am a singer, you just can't open up your mouth and prove that you're good at it with the gift that you have. You know, it takes work. But I love the fact that everything you do is for your client, to help them, to bring them closure, to bring them help, to help them grow. And it's such a beautiful thing.
Yeah. Oh, and I've been asked, well, if this is a gift from God, how can you charge? Like, well, I'm a single mom. I have bills to pay.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I unfortunately, with my rheumatoid arthritis, I am unable to hold or have a real outside of the house job.
Right.
So I really believe God was like, here you go.
Oh, yeah. I believe everything.
Here I am. I am able to provide.
Absolutely.
Now get off your butt and tell everybody what you can do.
Oh, I agree. I think everything happens for a reason, and the Lord knew that you were going to have this physical ailment, and so He gave you a gift in kind of a trade to still help you be able to take care of your family.
But He fought me down in Oklahoma, so that's His joke.
God does have the most interesting sense of humor. I will give Him that.
Absolutely.
We see it every day. Sometimes you are the butt of His joke. That certainly does happen. We only have a few minutes left. Is there anything you want to tell our audience? Anything you want to get out there? And also your contact information?
Just know that if you choose to work with me, it is an honor for me that people are trusting me enough to delve into such intimate moments of their life. You know, a loss of a parent, a loss of a child, a loss of a spouse, a loss of a best friend. So it's not just a hit and miss for me. I take every moment, every client very seriously. And you can contact me at my website, you know, www.jackiebowling.com, or I have a Facebook account, Clairvoyant Medium Jackie Bowling. But, you know, I'm very outrageously funny, and I can be inappropriate, but I'm human, and I have given messages from spirits that don't care how bad I look. I had one cussing Italian grandmother. It was beautiful.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I will tell you that, you know, you're a very beautiful person. You're sweet and very kind, and you are hilariously funny, and at times perfectly inappropriate. And I'm so honored to have you on my show, and we're so blessed to have you as a sponsor. I'm honored to be able to talk about you every single week and spread the word of your gift, and you know, make sure people know that there's somebody out there who is legit and who does care and wants to help them. And so it's an honor for us. And I just want to say thank you so much for coming on The Wicked Edge tonight. Thank you so much for being a part of the DTM Wicked Radio family. And you're so amazing. Thank you so much.
I am so glad to be a part of it.
We're so happy. Just hang on the line 1 second. Everybody, I just want to thank you so much for joining us on The Wicked Edge tonight. Stay tuned for a rerun of Paranormal Circus. Our dear friend Will Scoville has a night off, so we're going to be playing a classic Paranormal Circus. Then stay tuned for Alpha Star Radio, and then after that, Vision Quest with Chris George, Victor Furman, and Moonshine Adams. Thank you, everybody, and remember, spread love, not hate. Good night, everybody.